explosion. 209, you might want to back your unit up.
Without so much as a warning, life hangs in the balance. Human endeavor turns to chaos. And within seconds, nothing will ever be the same. Ever. I'm Ron Pitts. My team has put together some of the most unbelievable moments of destruction ever caught on camera. You'll see an entire neighborhood reduced to ash by an explosive train collision, and watch a race car driver endure a violent crash that flips him 10 times across the track. No situation is without risk, no outcome predictable when things are destroyed in seconds. Destruction cuts across Texarkana, Arkansas. Acres of charred land, homes reduced to cinders, lives changed forever. The drama begins 4 hours earlier.
The fire department is staging right now.
Police receive word that a freight train has derailed. An officer responds to the rail yard to investigate.
Explosion, 209, you alright?
Damn, oh. I've got some kind of chemical smell. I'm backing up. It's slowly drifting further south.
The odor is a bad sign. It means the derailed train probably contains volatile chemicals and could result in a toxic cloud or worse.
We just had a huge explosion. 209, you might want to back your unit up. We've got a massive fire out here at the rail yard. All kinds of stuff on fire. All the officers that responded to this need to back up out of the way. The fire department's even backing up.
Get your out of my way. We can get the hell up out of here.
We just had a huge explosion. We've got a massive fire out here. 10-4. There's still secondary explosions going on. 10-4. 209, where you at?
Had the officer not backed up when he did, the fast-spreading flames would have engulfed both him and his patrol car.
Get your out of my way. We can get the hell up out of here. I'm back out of the way. I just had to back up out of there.
Thanks, I'll be 10-8. I'll be en route too. Just lost power down here on the hill. 10-4.
The entire area is immediately evacuated.
We're trying to figure out what all is going on, but the whole rail yard blew up.
Oh my God.
Call everybody you know, start waking them up, get them out of here.
When daylight hits, the full scope of the disaster is revealed. Fires still burn throughout the rail yard, which now looks more like a war zone. In addition to the train cars, 2 homes and several vehicles are destroyed. Plumes of smoke tower over this small town on the Texas-Arkansas border. Sadly, a woman in one of the homes loses her life in the initial explosion. The inferno is triggered when a freight train rams into a tanker car filled with liquid propane. In the collision, the tanker car explodes, spreading the fire. Total damages are estimated at $2.4 million. The day Paul McDonald turned 18, he bought his first motorcycle. He taught himself how to do wheelies, then kept on pushing the limits. Paul McDonald's riding up to San Francisco to visit his mother. On his way there, he amuses himself and a friend who's taking the video by performing a few stunts. These are all tricks that Paul's very familiar with. Like a knack-knack, where he rides with both feet planted on the same side of the motorcycle while performing a wheelie. Coming out of his knack-knack, Paul's bike begins to wobble, and he loses control. He hits the blacktop at close to 60 miles per hour, rolls several times, and slides down the road. His bike slams into a parked car. The nearly 400-pound machine bounces off and hits Paul in the head as he slides by. Paul survives the crash, but breaks several bones, including his back. He completely recovers. Paul is certain that without his head-to-toe safety gear, he would be dead. Lexington, Ohio. Some of the fastest cars in the Midwest race in the annual Gears Classic at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. With speeds reaching 150 miles an hour, GT race cars tear through the 2.5-mile track for nearly 3 hours. With only 4 minutes to go in the race, driver Joey Hand battles to maintain his lead. The intensity thickens from turn to turn, where the slightest move can have extreme consequences. The impact sends Joey onto the grass. He hits a berm, launching his 2,600-pound racer. The car twists, turns, and flips an incredible 10 times back across the track. Then crash lands upside down 150 feet away. This is how the bump looked from inside the car that hit him. It's one of the worst crashes in the track's history, and the crowd is stunned. Then, the second most incredible sight of the afternoon. Joey crawls from the wreck with only a few bruises. Thanks to his padded roll cage and a good measure of luck, Joey is back at the track 1 week later. In 1988, Japanese and U.S. scientists gather in the New Mexico desert to perform an experiment. They plan to crash an F-4 Phantom jet, traveling at 480 miles per hour, into a 12-foot thick concrete wall, then measure the impact force. They hope to understand how to design concrete structures that will withstand such a calamity. Two-stage rockets propel the aircraft down a 300-foot-long sled track. The concrete wall is floating on air bearings, which allow it to move. High-speed photography helps scientists determine the crush behavior of the aircraft. Both wingtips and the tail are shredded off as the rest of the Phantom disintegrates. Scientists inspect the crash site. Only a few recognizable pieces remain. The concrete wall bears the impact scar of the aircraft. Instruments show it moved a total of 6 feet when struck by the jet. Using this data, engineers learn new ways to reinforce critical concrete structures. A 5-alarm fire breaks out in an abandoned building in San Jose, California. Firefighters battle the blaze from the street, while inside other crews search for transients that may be trapped in the building. With no prior warning, one of the exterior brick walls collapses, pinning a firefighter beneath the rubble.
There's somebody hurt.
As fire crews race to rescue one of their fallen brothers, the fate of the firefighters inside the building is still unknown. A second firefighter is injured by flaming debris. Crews continue to battle the blaze. Finally, the search and rescue team reappears, unhurt and positive that the building was empty before the blaze. The firefighter buried beneath the rubble of the wall is finally freed and taken to a nearby hospital. He's treated for minor injuries. The blaze continues for several hours into the night. The exact cause is never determined. Considering the firefighters' close proximity to the burning building, it's fortunate so few were injured when the wall came tumbling down. 120 miles off the coast of Virginia, the crew of the nuclear-powered aircraft carrier USS Enterprise carries out exercises. Pilots flying EA-6B Prowlers and S-3 Vikings hone their takeoff and landing techniques throughout the day and into the night, where a Navy pilot's skill is pushed to the edge. With limited visual cues, pilots are forced to rely mainly on instruments.
Roger, ball, 27 knots.
Wind 210 at 8, altimeter 29.
But even the best instruments are no match for a dangerous obstacle.
56-125.
The pilot of the Prowler is completely unaware that a Viking jet has been moved into his landing pad.
901, report initial.
By the time he sees it, it's too late.
56-125.
The Prowler clips the tail of the Viking. Both planes burst into flames. Momentum carries the Prowler across the deck and over the side. The next morning, the extent of the disaster becomes clear. The crew of the Viking survives. Sadly, the 4 crewmen inside the Prowler are killed. The disaster leads the Navy to adopt new safety procedures for night landings. Sherman Reservoir in the mountains on a Memorial Day weekend. Groups of campers enjoy life in the great outdoors. Suddenly, all eyes are on an adventure-seeking off-roader. He's giving the new suspension on his 4x4 a workout.
Get it.
He's gonna go off if he keeps doing it.
But suddenly finds himself stuck at the edge of a 50-foot drop.
This guy is history. Back up.
One wheel is hanging over the edge of the cliff.
His front left tire is off, wow.
The other 3 wheels are on sandy soil and loose gravel.
Dude, you ought to see this.
As the driver takes a time out to contemplate his strategy, campers on the ground have put together a plan B.
Hey, get the truck ready and someone get the truck down there because that guy rolls. We're gonna have to get over there and help really quick.
The driver tries to reverse his luck by backing out.
It's like crumbling as he's backing out over it.
But as he makes his move, the situation goes from bad to worse.
He's in a little bit of a spot.
That tire's still off.
With every rollover, the driver endures rocks and boulders coming in through the side windows and thin vinyl bikini top. Miraculously, the driver walks away with minor scrapes on his head and on one arm. And campers come off the mountain with a great story. And some amazing video. For several days, winds reaching up to 70 miles per hour whip across the port of Carico. As night falls, heavy tides continue to batter the port. Last-minute ferries dock in hopes of avoiding the heavy surf. The floating pier begins to take on water. Police and emergency crews quickly evacuate all ferry passengers. Spectators can only watch as the massive structure becomes unhitched from the shore and capsizes. After days of heavy surf, the pier suffers a ruptured ballast tank, one of 16 designed to keep it balanced. As a result, the pier's lounge begins to flood. Hitched to the shore by steel cables, the pier's weight becomes too much, snapping free. The unbalanced pier turns upside down and quickly submerges. It takes only minutes to totally destroy the large pier. Police and emergency crews completed a full evacuation. It's suspected that the surging tide was simply too much for a floating pier not secured to the ground by poles. An investigation into the cause of the disaster is still being conducted. I'm Ron Pitts, and we'll see you next time on Destroyed in Seconds.